So in the time that I've been, well, let me put it this way. In the time that I have been waiting to do this recording, and I did the last one for Mika, my Momotalks went from 214 to 216. I can't even get ahead. Oh gosh, anyway, I want to continue to see if I could chip that down. So as you probably can tell, we're gonna try Ichika's Momotalk today. This is another character that I really did like. And so yeah, I've got her affection or relationship, whatever that the stat's called, I forget. I think it's 16. So it's definitely something I can get away with and not have to worry about it. So, that said, I hope you guys are ready, because we're diving into some Ichika. Rumor has it that you're coming to Trinity today. Haha. Believe it or not, I've been assigned to help you out this time. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's fine. It's not like it's the end of the world. Also, hello, Ichika. Yes. Oh. Let's do our best. I think was what that was supposed to be. Alrighty then. A good assignment. I stopped by Trinity on business for Shale. I arrived at the front gates to find Ichika waiting in front of them. All smiles, right? Chat? Why'd I say chat again? Ugh, God, I'm still used to that. I don't know why. But look at this, just all smiles. Nothing could possibly ever be hiding underneath that smile, and no one has ever in the existence of her being in this game caused that so-called thing to come out from behind that smile and closed eyes. She's a good girl, chat. Leave her alone. Also, I keep saying chat. This is gonna take a while for me to get used to. Ah. Sensei, over here. How is it that you're right on time when you have a ton of work? I assumed you would take longer to get here. Well, I mean, look, if we're dedicated to it, we're dedicated to it. I was gonna make a joke about the prefect team, but this is Trinity, so I can't do that. This is part of my work. Well, you didn't have to go out of your way for me. I mean, you're a student of mine as well. But it's nice to hear that, and I have a feeling I'm going to prefer this assignment over my usual where well, maybe. Considering the last one didn't go so well. Well, I don't know. Are we just that much of a, like, positive that it doesn't matter if it's, like, the worst possible assignment in the world, but because we're there, it makes it, like, 1,600 times better? Well, then I guess we're just that kind of person, aren't we? I think perhaps today is my lucky day. Don't jinx yourself. Well, my usual work is... Normally I liaise with students from different academies, patrol potential battle locations, break up fights... You know, mostly security and mediation work. I mean, you are Justice Task Force. I guess that's kind of something you do alongside of busting criminals. Or whatever you want to call them, delinquents? That probably is the right word. But nobody else on the team could schedule in the time for this today, so here I am. That's not to say it's a bad thing. I'm actually happy about how things turned out. It's better this way. Patrolling or preventing fights from breaking out in tense situations is boring compared to this assignment. In fact, comparing the two is laughable. I get it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I understand how you feel. I feel the same way. Such an honest response. You're so relatable. I'm glad you understand. That being said, I hope you can continue being understanding if things don't go according to plan today, Sensei. Sometimes I feel like a magnet for problems. I hope not. I mean, if you could have a good day, I would prefer that. Anyway, we should get going before things get awkward. This way. So we just have a private escort. Like a security detail. That's interesting. We're almost there. It's just past Kaboom. Never mind. Oh, well, this is about what I expected. Where's the Kaboom? Where's the Kabuto shattering Kaboom? Where's the glass flying, building just leveling? Oh wait, I forgot. It's not Problem Solver 68. You're kidding, right? Are you trying to start a fight? You didn't honestly think Taiyaki and Plum Blossom mooncakes are the same thing. Can't say I've had either of them, so I don't know if they're really that same or different. I mean, they look different, I believe. They're both red bean pasty puffs, aren't they? What's the difference? What the? You ignorant child, I oughta. Oughta what? Fight us? Psh, like you even stand a chance. Oh gosh. Excuse me. There they go again. You'd think they'd grown out of all of that bickering by now. This is, I mean, I'm pretty sure people to this day fight over Coke and Pepsi. So this isn't exactly far-fetched from reality. I'm not sure my intervention is necessary. Yes, as a member of the Justice Task Force, I suppose I should step in. But what can I really do? My assignment right now is to escort Sensei, not keep the peace. It'd be weird if I forced myself into the middle of an argument before anyone starts shooting. Yeah, that is kind of a good point. I mean, yeah, sure, I guess at the same time. Well, they are troublesome students, so they have a high proclivity to that. But if they're not doing that, though, I mean, I don't know. It feels, I get her point here, too. And if things get out of hand, there are plenty of other Justice Task Force members on call that can mobilize. My assignment today is you, Sensei. And if you and I interfere in every little thing, you'll never get all of your work done. You're very accommodating. Well, yeah, unless it's something really serious, it's better to roll with the metaphorical punches. As they say, all's well that ends well, right? You don't hear that often. Oh, you mean you don't hear it from the other Justice Task Force members? I think I understand what you mean. The rest of the Justice Task Force could be a little stubborn. I would say interesting more than stubborn. They all are very different from each other. Very, very different from each other. You're not escaping this one too, you know. You might be in a different club, but you're still a part of this group. Oh my goodness. Anyway, the rest of the Justice Task. I don't know why I read that again. Not that it's a bad thing, I think it's pretty cool of them. But I'm all about taking it easy. Now then, let's head back. Let's head to our next stop. We won't get anything done if we just stand around here talking all day. I'll take the lead. Follow me. Alrighty then. I mean, like, there's no reason... There's no, like, reason to intervene in an argument. I mean, granted, if it goes... Like, if they start, like, blowing things up and, like, shooting their guns at each other, sure, but if they're not doing anything, I mean, it's just... They're being annoying. I don't know. I guess it depends if it's like a nuisance or anything, or people don't want it or whatever. It's a different story. I know there's like a thing about that was like, I forget what they call that, but it's definitely a thing. But still, I get it. Ichika's probably like, yeah, I don't want to drag Sensei into everything. I do kind of feel bad because it's like that ends up being her case all the time, where she's just kind of like, no, this is not how I wanted this to go, but Sensei, no. However, it was well into the afternoon by the time we finished everything on Shale's schedule. That's a bummer. I guess that covers it. Good work, Sensei. We managed to get everything done in one day. You were a big help today. Who, me? Enough of the flattery, it's embarrassing. Besides, it was a refreshing change of pace for me. If work was like this all the time, I would actually enjoy it. In fact, if it's okay with you, Sensei, I'd love to help you in the next time you visit. I mean, I don't mind. Totally not biased or anything. Yeah, totally not biased or anything. I said too much, didn't I? Why don't I just walk you out now? Then I can go finish my work. No, it's nothing serious. I just need to tie up those loose ends from earlier. You know, that fight and the other issues we ran into. Okay, now I'm worried about how many other issues we ran into. As a member of the Justice Task Force, I need to follow up to be sure everything is settled. I didn't forget or anything. I figured your work was more important. Mine could wait. Are you sure you want to tag along? I mean, I appreciate the gesture, but why? This is my problem to deal with. Yeah, but we inconvenienced you. I mean, you could have... Well, I know you talk about how you wanted to do this over that, but it's still a case of, like, you still need to do this, and you were helping us earlier, so... You know, kind of repaying the favor, right? Technically, I'm the reason you discovered all these problems. Okay, well, I wouldn't go blaming myself for the reason those problems exist. Well, I'm just gonna say the top one. This is just as much as my work as anything else. Really? Feels completely unrelated to me. But if it will make you feel better. You okay? Are you okay? Ichika! Alright then, at this point it would be rude of me not to accept. But I do feel like I'm taking advantage. Come on, let's go handle it together. Oh, and I know I said it's nothing serious, but it's still going to take a while. It'll likely be full dark by the time we're done, so I'll escort you back, Sensei. That way, I'll feel a lot better knowing you got home okay. Well, aren't you just sweet? I helped Ichika with the last of her duties, and then she happily escorted me all the way back to Shale. Yeah, I was gonna say, she's probably really happy we stayed around with her. Sensei, did you make it back alright? Thanks to you. It was nothing. Now that I've returned, confirmed your safe return, I shall go to bed as well. Good night. Ah, what to do? Sensei, what do you do when you don't have any work? I sleep like a log. I play games or work on other hobbies. Yes, actually. I see. Yes. Well, that was very illuminating. Maybe more for her than us. No big deal. Okay, let's see. While I was out running errands, I took a shortcut through the mall. Oh, hello. Ichika was there admiring an instrument on display at the music shop. Oh, hello, Sensei. What brings you to this neck of the woods? You're more interested in why I'm here. I mean, to be fair, if she was looking at instruments, I feel like I've talked about this before. I like instruments. I like playing them. They're fun. It's a little hard to learn them sometimes, but it's still fun to, like, once you get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun. Especially when you start just, like, listening to other songs and stuff, and then just, like, kind of playing the song by ear on the instrument that you play. It's really, really cool when you can manage to pull it off. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm just glad to see you again. You really want to know what I was looking at? Nothing important, just a guitar. I've never really thought about playing before. That is, not until this morning. Oh, really? I've never even touched a guitar, let alone played one. Yeah, that's the reaction I expected. Well, I mean, I guess my question is it just like an acoustic? Are we talking electric? Is it bass? What kind are we talking here? Because they're all, I mean, they're kind of a lot of the same principles, but how you play them is a little bit different depending on which one it is. Anyway, I know it's out of the ordinary for me, but I've heard some people playing guitar on my way here. They weren't drawing a crowd or anything. But isn't it cool? I found something they found something they're passionate about, that they love no matter what people say. It made me want to discover what I'm passionate about, so I came here. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure it's for me. What if I don't like it enough to really practice? Then I'd never be able to play well. On the other hand, you don't know until you try, right? Maybe I'll love it. True. Yeah. I mean, like, I never really was certain if I was gonna love instruments. Then I ended up, my mom got me into playing some of them, and then they kind of grew it, or that whole thing kind of grew on me, and then before you know it, I liked a lot of them. I'm still trying to figure out which one is my favorite to this day, but maybe one of these days I'll get my own one of this. I borrowed my parents', of course, like, you know, after all the proper handling and maintenance on it, but it was one of those things where it's like, I would like to get one of my own at some point in my life. Just because it's like, oh yeah, I remember I used to play this. Who am I kidding? Inspiration has never struck before. Why would it now? Besides, something like that probably requires more talent than skill. No? Well, it can be, but it doesn't, like, it's one of those things where the more you practice it, the better you'll get at it anyway. It's like what I say about drawing, too. You just gotta give it time. It's not gonna come quick. It'll take a while, and some things will be very challenging, but it's still, you know, it's one of those things where it's like the journey is where it all matters. That's what I liked about. That's why I liked about it so much. You really think I should give it a try? What exactly do you want to hear? Me playing the guitar? Me? For you, Sensei? Uh-oh. I didn't say anything about those, did I? I didn't say anything. I think she went to that on her own. Look at that face she's making. That's the face of, I don't want to think about it, but I did. Oh no, think of something else. I can't. That's like a borderline Aru moment in itself. What are you even saying? I could never. I just said I've never touched a guitar before. Are you trying to embarrass me? You know what? I'm just gonna go full send. Maybe we can learn together. That's what I expected. But still, even if that's what you meant, it's too much. I just can't. I know I said I wanted to find something I'm passionate about, but, well, it's fine, I'll just figure it out or something, if you really want to hear me. But if it's terrible, don't say I didn't warn you, you hear? I'm not... You're probably going to sound terrible for a while. But I'm not gonna say that, because then that's gonna discourage you from keeping it up. It's one of those things where it's like, you gotta give it time. I'm not gonna like get you an instrument, wait a week, and then expect you to be like playing like one of the like classics. I don't know. It's like I'm gonna like, what is it? I don't even know. Like, I'm not like I'm gonna expect you to play like a guitar and then all of a sudden you're playing Through the Fire and Flames and you're nailing every single note. No, I do not expect you to be able to do that within a week. Yeah, sure we had sure we had the band story just recently, but that's different. They like grinded that out for 7 days straight. That was all they did. You're just as task force. You have more to do than that group does. Not that I'm bashing them or anything. Take it easy. You have nothing to worry about. Well, okay then. I'll get the cheapest one they make for beginners. I'm assuming she's getting an acoustic, because that's like the cheapest thing you can get, and that's like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I've played both electric and acoustic, but if you play the acoustic, get comfortable with it, then electric isn't too hard for you to get used to either. It's just the feeling of it's going to be very different. Obviously the sound, but the feeling of how that, like, of just like how the two guitars are going to, like, when you hold them and when you strum them, are going to feel a little bit different. That's about it. At least that's how I've always felt about it. Anyway, Ichika went into the store and purchased one of the acoustic guitars. Hey, there we go. On the display. Then we walked over to the riverside and sat down. Did you get a tuning instrument, or are you just gonna play it by ear, literally? It's a real guitar, and it's mine. I was only thinking about getting one, but now we're actually sitting here with one. Even though it's for a beginner, to anyone walking by, I look like a professional. And now that I have music and instructions, I guess there's nothing left to do but play. If I follow the instructions, it might sound okay. What do you think? It's probably going to be more complicated than that. Maybe start with something easy. I would say start with something easy. Always like, what is it? The hot, like, there's the old joke about, oh yeah, I can play Hot Cross Buns, but it's like Hot Cross Buns is like the beginning song to learn, because it's just you figure out the initial notes. A lot of cases, it's like the initial, like the easiest notes that for people to get used to, because it's like when I played saxophone, it was the ones that were the easiest for me to get my hands in positions for, because it took a little bit to get used to just moving my hands so that way I could play the right note. So yeah, start off with something easy. Okay, yeah, let's see. I should hold it like this. And the chords are here. Yes. And then I strum, I think. Yep. That sounded pretty good, just for, I mean, right off the get-go. Something like this. How's it sound? Are you sure this is your first time playing? I mean, yes, I guess I am. It's meant for beginners, though. Whether it's cooking, programming, or drawing, this is pretty typical when you're following simple instructions, isn't it? I don't see why musical instruments would be any different. They're made to be played. Just do as you're told and it'll work. Simple as that. Well, I mean, there's a little bit of figuring things out on your own, but that's when it gets fun, to be honest. You can even add a little something to the basics to make it your own. That too. No big deal. You really are impressed, aren't you? And you're wondering if people have told me I'm a quick study. Well, I can't say it's the first time I've heard that. Alright, say that all you want, but it takes more than flattery to win my trust. Why don't we just practice some more if that's okay with you? Pick some songs from the book and I'll play them. That's actually kind of cute. We spent a while there. Ichika played and I listened. I still don't believe it was her first time playing. She was very impressive. Oh, that was fun. I got a lot out of today, in many ways. You gonna keep up the guitar? Ah. No. Oh, what? I tried playing a few times at home, but I just couldn't get into it. Now my guitar sits in the corner of my room. Ichika! Come on! Sensei, are you free at the moment? More or less. What's going on? Ah. It's nothing. I'm just really bored. I'm waiting on some other people and I have nothing to do. I'm just imagining we're just like, say less and then just dead sprint to Trinity. One promise. Around dusk, I went to the convenience store near the alley for a drink. That was where I found Ichika piling up boxes in one corner of the playground. Huh? Sensei, what are you doing out this late? Ah, you were thirsty, huh? I guess that means you're working late. I'm sorry to hear that. You really work a lot, don't you? Well, you're in good company. I'm working too. Let me know if you need any help. What about me? Oh, I'm out late because I'm gathering stuff for the flea market, and I had a few more boxes to deal with. That's a ton. I thought you were moving. Yeah, I get that a lot. I like to try a lot of different things, which means I accumulate lots of stuff periodically. I sort through and sell the things I haven't been Oh, I see. I get her now. So she's the, I'm gonna try a bunch of things. It's almost like that kind of. I mean, I'm all for it. She's like this, she's like into this like exploratory phase of her life where she's trying to find what she likes and doesn't like. But at the same time, it's like you're throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. It's not bad, and it's probably gonna be good if you can find things. But that is gonna be very. If you're buying a lot of stuff, that's expensive. But hey, if you can find a hobby or two, that's never a bad thing. Especially like the hobbies that you keep for like the rest of your life. Most people use what they buy for a long time, but that's not really how I work. Whenever I discover a new hobby, I suddenly get really excited and learn everything about it, but then one day, just as suddenly, I lose interest. And well, it means that a lot of my stuff is hardly used at all. And since they're in such good condition, I sell them pretty quickly. Check out this app. This is what I used to sell on the flea market. Take a look at the number of safe transactions. This is practically a specialty store. Your rating is at platinum. Wait, what? And it's not just Trinity students who buy from me. I sell to Millennium, Yakyako, everybody. I really enjoy negotiating deals, and it's really satisfying to see people enjoy what they buy from me when they've gotten a good deal. You know what would be really funny if this actually was like her, if she finds this as a hobby? Which it wouldn't surprise me. It kind of fits her. Because it's like, when you think about what she does, she kind of acts as like a mediator sometimes, and she's like the more social of the, well, she really do kind of be like, of the entirety of the Justice Task Force, I think she's probably the more social. We don't even need to talk about two of them, and I don't know about her. Maybe? Sumi isn't that bad. I think. I haven't actually done her. This reminds me, I haven't done her Momotalk. I actually kind of should get to know her a bit better too. We'll see one of these days. Ah, the guitar. No, I haven't sold that. I'm not ready to let it go yet. It gets me. It got me compliments from Sensei. I see. You sure you're playing a guitar, not a fiddle? Because you're playing me like one. But I suppose I might be willing to sell if I met someone who really needs it. Fair point. I said too much again, didn't I? No, it's good to be honest. Or I'd actually say share as much as you're comfortable sharing, honestly. There you go again. Do you always say things like that? Yes. Yes, I do. I'm just built different. I'm just kidding. Whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you want. You're so talented. I mean, you're so supportive. Not gonna lie, I honestly like it when Ichika opens her eyes. I mean, sure, the closed eyes characters always draw more attention because you never actually see what their eyes look like, and then the few times you get to see it, it's, for some reason, always a pleasurable experience. But then there's just like, I don't know, maybe it's just her, like, I usually expect a different color, but like them being gray actually just kind of makes it interesting. Not that they're bad or anything. I just kind of like how her whole color palette is for both her clothing, well, I mean, granted, she's gonna have the Justice Task Force colors, sure, but they've made it all kind of blend together perfectly without making any individual piece stick out too much, which is kind of nice. I guess that's just kind of how she do be. Are you this kind to all your students? Yes. Well, maybe. I feel like we have a handful of exceptions. Though at the same time, sometimes I feel they deserve it. Anyway, you must be. You do nice things for them, say nice things to them, help them be successful. And if anyone tries to return the favor, you dismiss it with some excuse about just being a good teacher. Ichika, what's that look for? No, this one too, I don't like it. If I keep letting you take care of things for me, eventually you'll give too much and it'll ruin our relationship. I need to repay your kindness, Sensei, or I'll always feel like I owe you. We need to promise each other something. The promise is not big. It's nothing serious. I wouldn't burden you like that, Sensei. You've done enough already. Just promise me that if you run into any problems, no matter how small or annoying it is, you'll let me know. Like that scuffle between students earlier, or when you're trying to get a good deal on a purchase. What I'm saying is that I'm good with people, and I want to help, so please let me help. You have to be okay with that, okay? That's just how it has to be. Does my opinion count for something? I'm just gonna say the bottom one. Thanks, I know I can count on you. Ah, yes, the hee-hee. Different from the ha-ha or the... I don't know, I see hee-hee a lot more nowadays on so many different places. I have a certain individual to blame for that. Anyway, I look forward to the day you need my help. Then Ichika and I parted ways. She headed to the flea market and I went to the convenience store. I came back after I bought a drink, but the park was empty. Sensei, do you have some time now? Oh. Don't worry, there's nothing wrong. Do you have some time? Why don't we meet at the park? Oh! That would be great. I'll see you there. Well, that was easy. For the time being. I promised Ichika that I'd meet her in the park, so I headed that way. Sensei? Wow, how do you have such a perfect timing? Why is your voice coming from above me? Because I'm over here, Sensei, up here. Hang on, I'm in the middle of something. Is she playing the guitar again? While sitting up on like a branch or something. I need to grab something and then I'll be right down. Yep. Oh, never mind. Balloon. One thing led to another, huh? Okay. What exactly? Someone needed help again, right? I actually kind of like seeing her eyes open in this one. It's cool that they did both. Also, yes, you are that easy to read. I mean, literally, yeah. Not bad. Ichika abruptly jumped down from the tree, waved, and ran off. She returned a few minutes later without the balloon. Yeah, it's like this. It's not that she. I guess I probably shouldn't say she's easy to read. It's more so the fact of it's what she does. Like, it's just how she is. It's not really something that you read, it's just more of just how she just conducts herself. That's really it. Nothing really changes from that point. Anyway. Okay, I'm back. Whew, if I knew you were going to be early, I would have come sooner. But it worked out. I climbed the tree for that balloon because a kid lost it. I was worried they'd get hurt trying to get it themselves, so I sat them on a bench to wait while I got it for them. Hmm? You think that was impressive? Why? Because the tree is so tall? There you go, exaggerating again. It's nothing. Plenty of people can climb trees. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. It's no big deal. No, it wasn't the tree's height. You don't have to keep saying things like that just for my sake. Hmm? Wait, you actually think I did a good thing? I mean, why you're helping people. You're always helping people. Why wouldn't you? Everyone appreciates a compliment, but no, you know what? I'm just gonna take what you said to heart. Thank you, Sensei. Anyway, the reason I reached out to you, you may already know since I mentioned it before. It's about, I'm not really sure how to explain this. I want to get obsessed with, I was gonna say find your passion. So you did already know. I guess you saw this coming. Yeah, I mean, the sudden interest in the guitar, and then you suddenly losing it, and then you're talking about, like, all the stuff that you've tried, and then you don't touch it for a while, then you sell it off. And like I said, what I was saying in like the last chapter, where it's like you're just throwing things at a wall to see what sticks, which is fine if you're trying to find what you really like. So it's kind of obvious at this point. You know, one thing leads to another, which leads to this conclusion. Anyway. I suppose I mentioned it once or twice, or a bunch. Anyway, it's like you said, and I thought maybe you could offer some advice. I know you and the other members of the Justice Task Force think I'm good at a lot of stuff. Mob-chans. The Mob-chans! The thing is, I'm always envious of people who seem really passionate about what they do. Being decent at everything I try is nice and all, but what good is that if I can't truly figure out what if I can't figure out what I truly love? I'll never be great at anything. Oh, well, I know there's this saying, you know, the jack of all trades is a master of none. Sometimes people actually like that. Like, it's not necessarily learning. I guess I'd look at it this way. There are people that like going into specializations in fields when they learn things and study them. And then you have the people that just like to learn as much as they can. Just to learn, you know, just to see something new or a different perspective or how people do certain things. And it's probably those type of people that do like that. So I guess it's not entirely wrong for some people to be jack of all trades, because some people do kind of like that. And I don't know if anyone here ever felt like that, but I know at least 2 or 3 people, and when I was studying, that were kind of that way. They just kind of wanted to learn as much as they could, so they took classes that were like so far disconnected from each other. Like they didn't have anything that tied the two of them together. Like I guess in my case, for something that does match would be like a programming class and mathematics. Those two kind of go hand in hand in some cases. But like they would take classes that were so dramatically separated from each other. Like for example, let's say painting and programming. They're very far apart from each other. That you don't see if they connect at all. But still, I think those type of people just like learning stuff. Maybe that was their passion in their own way. If that makes sense. So, anyway, someone who knows who they are and what they're about. Well, they shine so much brighter, you know? It probably sounds silly, but I worry people wouldn't understand or would make fun of me for feeling that way. So, well, that's the situation. And it's also why you're the only person I've talked to about it. You must think I'm such a bother. It's not that I can't trust other people with this, but you're sensei. If there's anyone I should get advice from, it's you, right? It's not weird. Of course. I should have known you'd say that. Okay then. What advice do you have for me? I know we've only gotten together a few times, but that's enough for you to have an idea, right? What's best? Which of my talents do you think would best represent who I am? Or maybe there's something I haven't tried yet that you think I would like. Kinda sprung this on you, didn't I? No, you have an idea, but you can't tell me. What? Why not? I don't understand. What do I need to do first? Yeah, don't try to force it, just trust your heart. I get it. Huh? I'm sorry, you want me to do what? I don't understand what you mean by that. Unless you just don't know what to say and you're giving up on me, aren't you? No. Really? Because it sounds like you are. I knew it, I'm hopeless. No, you're not, Ichika! No, you're not! There's nothing wrong with you. I think you're just expecting too much of yourself, yeah. That's a very common thing for people to do, and one of the most common things I tell people about that is to stop comparing yourself to others. Figure out what you yourself can do, and don't look at how you compare and stand up against others. 'Cause, you know, if you're always comparing yourself to like geniuses, you're going to always feel like an idiot. But if you just focus on your individual victories, then hey, I'd say you're having a good day. That's the way I look at it. You know, you gotta take things in stride. You know, like I was saying earlier, you can't just pick up an instrument and expect to play a legendary piece on like day 2. It takes time, and it's not something that's quick. So every day, keep track of what you play, what you do, how much better you get at pacing. Are you rushing? Are you dragging? You know, what song could you play from beginning to end? What parts are you struggling with? Did you get past it the next day or something? You know, like all those tiny little steps, they build up over time, and that is what really helps. I know that we're going back to the music thing, but it's kind of one of those things where I'm just like, it makes it makes it so much better when you stop comparing yourself to others when you're trying to do something and just kind of focus on what you do. I think I understand, maybe. Sorry if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure I understand. I thought I was trusting my heart, but you seem sincere, Sensei, and you usually know what you're talking about. So I'll think more about what trusting my heart means. And for now, I'll trust you and your advice, Sensei. Ichika, about earlier. Alright, we're wasting daylight. We should get started. Time to follow my heart. For the rest of the day, you're all mine. Whoop! Well, she's taking us. We're captured. We had a blast visiting the amusement park until Ichika got tired and went home. She seemed extremely satisfied with how the day turned out. I had a great time today, thanks to you. Thank you, Sensei. I'm sure to reach out whenever I need help. You did ask me to, after all. Sounds good. And remember to trust your heart. Yes. Although, for the time being, I'm not sure I'll find anything that speaks to me more than this. Alrighty, well. Oh boy, that was actually pretty cute. I mean, it was definitely a very different topic from what I'm used to. Like, yeah, sure. Most characters have like relationships deepening with you, or just like how you interact with them kind of makes them more focused on what you do with them. But at the same time, like Ichika's in a case where it's like She's trying to figure out what she likes the most. And I actually kind of find that interesting how she has that side to her. Though I feel like, to be honest, there's a lot of things I think she really excels at. And maybe she might not necessarily realize it. Like, she's super, like, social and friendly, and that helps out a lot with a lot of things that she can do. And obviously, it sounds like she's pretty good at doing, like, bargaining and stuff, so there are some, I guess I wouldn't really call those hobbies, but, you know, there are certain things I think she has a natural talent for. And maybe she'll find something she really does like. I think that will be good for her. But yeah, I could definitely tell, like, after like the second or after that talk at the, what was it, the playground there, where it was like, oh yeah, she's just basically trying to figure out what she was trying to do. So hopefully she does find something, I guess. But nah, even then, why is she adorable? Look at that face. Look how happy she is. She is a happy girl. I really do appreciate that this did actually show her eyes open. So they didn't just leave it to where she only had her eyes closed like that. So, but yeah, I did like this story a lot. It was pretty cute. Definitely not like the most impactful ones, but it was definitely one that fit, that I felt actually really did fit her. And thankfully, no, not a lot of things went wrong on this one. It was just her trying to figure out who or what she wanted to be or who she wanted to be, and to you know, to a degree, that is. So, yeah. Anyway, that is going to be all for this particular Momotalk. Hope you guys did enjoy it. I think it's, I'd like to see more to this. I'm curious if there, how many more chapters they plan to add of Momotalks, because it's like, I know I do some of these and then they add like another scene or two later on, and I'm curious if they'll ever add another one for this and they kind of show a bit more. And it also makes me kind of wonder if they ever show, like, if any of these even have closure. Like, if they do, like, I don't know, like after, let's say you do like 5 episodes on a Momotalk, like the 5th one is actually like the closing episode for it. I mean, the downside is it does like make it to where, you know, once that's done, the story's done, you can't really do much more with the Momotalk, but I don't know. I guess they could just start another entire topic as a whole, which isn't a bad thing, but it does kind of just show like the daily slice of life for them. So I'm curious what she does end up finding in the end, if anything does, if they do get some closure on this. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. We'll see you guys all in the next one. I'm thinking about who I'll do for the next one, but this one I just kind of thought about. I was like, you know what? I like Ichika. I'm going to do this one. And now I'm just staring at her, smiling at us while holding a balloon. So hopefully you guys did enjoy these, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Catch you all later.